start our recording. So today is an unusual game. It's just the three of us, me, Lacey, and Morgan, and so I've decided that we're going to use this sort of small game week to do something, just a little bit of practice for us, a little bit of fun with our characters. So what we're doing today is a combat simulation that Leco has asked our characters to do with her and her team, to help them kind of clear their heads and get their heads in the game, be ready to go for whenever we're ready to start whatever our next mission is. So we are, the game is going to start off with us all inside of a simulator. We're going to assume that all of our characters have access to all of our regular abilities while we're in the simulation, even though some of that might not make a lot of narrative sense, like how are we using our, psychic powers while we're in the simulation? It doesn't matter. Just roll with it. Okay. So I think I'm going to start by giving you guys the kind of the setup and the narrative overview for what we're doing and what the goal of this sort of game that we're playing is. And then we will, once we've done the setup, then I will give us a refresher on some of the mechanics that we'll need to be keeping in mind as we go. I'm not going to do the stuff, the warm-up stuff that we usually do on the home page. I'm just going to jump us right in here and sort of get us moving. Okay. Morgan, do you see the map that I just dropped you on?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So.
Can I compose your brain?
Yes. So, I'm gonna zoom out. Morgan, I encourage you to zoom all the way out so you can see this full map that I spent a lot of time
it's really pretty
making.
Brad.
It's several different screenshots and images and stuff spliced together.
And you labeled different places.
I did.
Wow. How long did this take?
Too many hours.
Aww.
But I mean, it did not need to. I did this for me.
Fun. It looks really good.
Okay. So, So what we're doing is we've gone into a combat simulation, and this simulation is going to have us go through the events of a climactic battle in the Galactic Civil War, the one that's still going on, the one that started about 5 years ago. So this battle was the first one where our side, the Coalition of the New Dawn, where New Dawn forces it was our first big strike back against the Eternal Dynasty, the main antagonists. Yes. So they had this huge super fortress carrier that was kind of rolling over different sections of the galaxy and just stomping all kinds of planets under their control. And this was a counteroffensive where our forces tried to destroy their supercarrier, and were ultimately successful. So, do you have questions?
No.
Okay.
So we're well, actually, one question. Is this kind of like a Civil War reenactment in a ship? Is it the actual ship?
Yeah, we're kind of LARPing.
Oh, no.
But the Civil War the Civil War that we are playing through is the one that is still currently going on.
Right.
The one that we're currently still fighting in. So this is just it's like it's like when a football team does a game and then goes back and like rewatches the footage to see how they could have done better. It's that idea. So this is a battle that Ruda. There's a good chance that actually, I'm gonna go ahead and say your group, the Ninja Warrior team, almost certainly did fight in this battle. But you probably weren't in the part of the battle that we're going to be simulating. You were probably fighting on the other front.
I see.
So,
Ready to learn.
So,
Sorry, I just can't get over it.
So I love it.
The idea was that that this super carrier ship thing was so heavily defended with these massive cannons and stuff that any ship that we tried to get in range to attack it would just get obliterated. So we needed somebody to go and take it apart from the inside, essentially. Right. We needed somebody to get inside and take down some of those defenses so that our army could get in close.
Right.
So what's happened is our armada kind of pushed up against their armada and pulled them out to do a fight sort of just on the periphery away from the main carrier. So, you know, like several 100,000 miles away or whatever, there's this, maybe not 100,000, several miles away, there is this huge battle happening. But the carrier itself is less heavily defended because most of their army is out fighting the main battle.
Right.
Our team is a strike force that is being basically shot out of a cannon into this fortress, and our job is to okay. So here's the job. If you look on the map, there is one big yellow star right here.
Yes.
And that is next to the defense control station. So, if you take out that station or take control of it, then you can shut down the cannons, which will let our whole armada get in, and at that point the battle's basically won. So if we take that room, we've won the battle. As soon as that room is taken, within like a few minutes, our forces are going to roll over this space station, and the whole thing is going to be destroyed.
Yes.
So
you said the armada?
Yeah, our armada is going to come roll over this space station just as soon as we create an opening for them by taking out the control station. Make sense?
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yep.
Does that mean we have to not only make a plan to get there, but also make an escape plan, or are we just
the escape plan can just be, you know, get in your ships and fly out the way you came in.
Okay, got it.
But
so, Byrne, sorry, we're trying to get to the control station.
Yes, which is the one with this big yellow star.
Yep.
Okay. So. Okay. Yes. So that's the primary goal. Obviously, there's a couple steps that we need to do in order to get in there. But there are some there are a few secondary objectives that will make things easier for our there are a few secondary objectives we want to consider that we need. Any of these secondary objectives we need to do before we take the main control station. So if we want to do any of these, we need to do them before that. Because as soon as we take the main station, we need to get out of there immediately. So the first one is there is this lady actually, named Lieutenant McHarris, who is currently being held in the brig. That's this first exclamation mark. At least we assume she's in the brig. By the way, the reason we know where all these things are is our group did some espionage and stole blueprints.
Got it.
So we know they have a brig. We know they're holding one of our VIPs hostage. We assume that our VIP is being held hostage in the brig.
Right.
So one of your side quests is rescue Lieutenant McHarris from the brig. Next side quest is at the research station down here.
Yeah, the nerds.
Yes, the nerd station. So the research station has a lot of proprietary research where they have information on the new weapons they're developing, and new battle strategies they're considering and stuff like that. If we can recover information from that research station, then we will have a big advantage in the next steps of the war. So we want to recover information from the research station as well as rescue our VIP from the brig. Now, the other options that are on here as optional objectives are mostly in terms of things that will explicitly just kind of make the battle easier for the rest of our forces and will mean that fewer people on our side will die. So the other things we can do are take down their mainframe computer, which is going to severely reduce the effectiveness of their sort of battle coordination.
Yes.
They have a ritual circle where they have a whole bunch of mages, essentially, casting spells into the battlefield. If we can disrupt the ritual circle, that means fewer space demons and fireballs blowing up our people. In the back half, the aft end of the ship, there are power reactors. So if we can take out these power reactors, that will take down the ship's shields, which will, make the ultimate attack against the ship less bloody when it happens. And then there are two command stations. There's a fore command and an aft command station, because this ship is so huge and is commanding such a huge army. They have their army split up and they're commanding them from two different fronts. So if we can take out either the fore or aft command station, then that will mean, we'll disrupt the enemy forces and possibly force them into a retreat.
Wow.
Okay, so
Many choices.
So those can kind of be broken up into three sections based on their location on the ship. So here in the middle of the ship, there are two side quests. There's the brig, and then there's the research station. And then there's three side quests at the front of the ship and three side quests at the back of the ship. So that's the general setup to the thing.
Wait, what was the third one there?
Front command station, mainframe computer, and ritual circle.
Okay, front. what is the front command?
They're commanding soldiers on the battlefield.
Got it.
And likewise, there's an aft or rear command station
Right.
down here.
This is during the battle, before and after the battle, or just two different fronts?
Just two different fronts.
Got it. Okay.
They're both controlling forces right. Simultaneously.
Okay.
So, computer, ritual circle, and command station in the front, and then two different reactors and a command station in the back.
Mm-hmm.
And then the rescue and recover stuff in the center, and then the defense station, which is in the center, and once you take that out, the level's over.
Right.
I mean, you take that out and then get the hell out of there as fast as possible,
Right.
and then the level's over. Morgan, did all of that make sense to you?
Totally. I'm trying to figure out where to go first.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
So now I have to explain the sort of like physical layout, because it's a kind of unusual battleship design. So this whole facility that we have a cutout for here is it looks like kind of it kind of looks like a floating eyeball in space. Actually, I might have a good graphic for it that I can drop in, which I'm gonna look for. But so on the outside, it's just a big round, bubbly shell of metal covered in guns.
Oh,
With there are 4 like port openings on it. The 4 ports are indicated by these like sliding door icons.
Right.
See them?
Yes.
Okay, so there's 2 that are clearly visible, and then 2 that are kind of cut off.
Uh-huh.
There's one right here, and then one which is completely cut off
Right.
down here. So, those are the only ways into the inside of the ship. If we just approach them, we have effectively we can just approach them and go straight through them.
Right.
So that's how we get inside of the like outer shell. And then once we're inside the shell, all of this like gray space between the rooms, that is actually like open air, open space actually. So all of these rooms are kind of floating. They each of these rooms, has a very thick metal shell around it.
Yeah.
But this whole facility is just kind of floating inside of this shell. You can kind of think of it like a turtle shell is the outer shell, and then all the organs and stuff are the rooms, and then the space between those organs, the muscles and all that stuff is all just open space. So, the thing you need to know about that open space is that whole open space, all of the like unused open space in this facility, is used as just one giant garage essentially.
Okay.
And is holding
Like storage?
Yeah, it's storage. It's a hangar, a garage, a dock for all of their ships and frames and fighters and stuff like that. we don't know how many ships and stuff are in there. I mean, technically, all of our characters would have had the option by now to look at historical records and like blah 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 blah. But in in the game, our characters are assumed to not know what's in there. But we can assume that it is not completely full because we know that the vast majority of their army is out fighting on the front line, being distracted.
So
We can also
a small reserve.
Right. We can also assume it is probably not completely empty because it's standard military tactics. You don't send out 100% of your forces right away. You save some people in reserve. You have a rear guard, especially if the back is where your like command station is. You keep some people behind to defend that. So there's going to be some amount of resistance inside this shell that is somewhere more than nothing and less than their entire army.
Yay!
Okay. We gotta be really careful.
Yes. So once you get inside, we go in through the doors, and we're in this open space. We can assume that as soon as we get in there, we're going to be fighting however many rear guard they have. As soon as we get in there, we need to get inside this sort of the inner facility, the facility that is walled off, that is the like skeleton that is floating inside the outer shell, and those have all those hallways and stuff have thick walls on them that they're going to be resistant to weapons. So you can't just like fly up to one of these rooms and start just, slamming your fist against the wall until it opens up.
Oh man, I was thinking of forcing.
However, if you have a particularly strong weapon, or if you put like a lot of time into it, you can get through one of these walls with enough force.
Right.
If you want to do that, you'll probably need somebody to be covering you and keeping enemy fire off your back while you do so. The other option are the docks. So, let's see. Do I have another icon I can put down for docks? Shapes. What happens if I do this? It's a little silly, but it'll do.
I like it.
Okay, so I'm putting down an icon of a ship over all of the docks. I might remove this later, but just to give you kind of a visualization while you're drawing up your plan.
Yeah.
There are 3 major docks. 2 in the back half, 2 in the aft, 1 in the fore. So, either right here, as soon as you get in the gate, there's a dock. Right here, as soon as you get in the other gate, there's a dock. Or, if you find kind of the middle up front, that whole inner circle there is a dock.
Ren, where are we now?
We are out in
we can choose
space.
like wherever we want to go.
We are starting here,
We can go anywhere.
in the sort of top left corner of the map, out in space.
Got it.
So, once we get inside, in order to get inside, in order to like actually get access to the rooms, we have 2 options. One is to go in through the docks, and one is to have somebody cover us while we just fucking blast a hole through one of these walls.
Well.
Either one is option. Either one is an option. I will point out that if we, the space between the outer shell and the facility itself is a vacuum, much like the void of space. If we just blast a hole through one of the walls, air will start escaping, and that will cause complications.
Right. Also, everyone will know we're freaking there.
I mean, everybody's gonna know we're there anyway.
There, but like, yeah. You can't just you can save like a minute.
Right.
You know.
So that's something to keep in mind. And then if we go into the docks, we can essentially like park our vehicles and then lock the parking space behind them and be a bit more safe than if we went directly into the site. So the safe, easy, clean option is for us to get in through the outer doors, get to one of these docks, park, and then head for one of our objectives on foot. And then the like rough and rowdy option is, we go straight to one of the objectives and we just like punch through the wall and head in from there.
Right.
A little more messy and complicated. Either way, we can expect to face resistance and stuff once we're inside.
I think we should go through the dock and get to the reactor, take it out first.
That was my exact thinking, because
Sweet.
if we go through the one nearest to the I took freaking notes. The maintenance computer, we're gonna be right in the center of the ritual spellcaster circle, and I just do not want to deal with them right now.
Okay, so you're gonna start on the back of the ship
So we'll
rather than
start
the front
back.
of the ship. Okay. So is your plan go to the back, hit both the reactors and the command station, which is going to put the rest of the ship into just battery reserve. So the main computer and some of this stuff will still be up, but the heavy power consumption stuff will be down. And then make your way and rescue the person from the brig, hit the research station, and then hit the defense control station and get out. Okay.
As of right now, we'll see what happens. Dun,
Alright.
dun, dun.
I like that. So that's our plan. We're gonna go in through the port docks. Then I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of these other ship icons just to make the whole thing a little bit less crowded.
Is Ruda the character that's so weird to the conversation?
Yes.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure.
Okay.
No.
So we're gonna get started.
Yay! I'm glad I took notes.
And I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to go over as a reminder. Okay, right. So before we start, last thing we should do is everybody should open up their character sheet and just kind of peek at their, especially their frame abilities to start, because our starting combat will be in our vehicles, and then we will transition. You can share my screen.
Can I
if you
share your
want.
screen? Okay, I just don't want to be.
Fine.
It's been a while.
So I'm gonna open up Eilish and Anehir's. Ruda, Morgan, are you comfortable?
Comfortable.
Cool.
So comfortable with getting through the character sheet?
Yep. Checking your own
Yep.
frame specs and abilities and stuff. So your frame is the
Yep.
bottommost box. Come on.
Yeah. I have a question about grammatic manipulation. I don't think we've ever gone over it, but is that like I can float in the frame?
Yeah. So basically, instead of having jet thrusters or anything like that, Jagara travels by just manipulating gravity. So the way
Nice.
Jagara travels is she basically picks whichever direction she wants to go, and then she just decides to start falling in that direction until she gets there,
Okay.
and then she decides to just stop falling.
Wow. All right. That's pretty cool.
And you can also, if you want to, ability is not limited to her own body. She can also manipulate other entities. So you could theoretically, if you react in time, use that to, like, you know, pull a missile out of the way before it hits you, or, like, you know, pull an enemy into your attack, or something like that.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm looking at my frame abilities and Anehir's frame abilities. So my frame is Blightbringer, which is a big, sort of demonically corrupted / tainted. Think of it as like a quarterback. It was actually literally built to be a robo sports vehicle first, and then was kind of outfitted with weapons later. So it is a big fucking slam into you, plow through you thing.
Nice.
So I got some plating. I have my super vernier thrusters, which basically let me go really, really fast with super duper acceleration, but not a lot of handling. And in the first battle I did, I tried to hyper tackle somebody with them, and the guy dodged, and I was essentially out of the battle for the rest of the time because I basically turned on a rocket.
Yeah.
And poof,
yeah, you're the kids who.
then I was gone.
Yeah.
I also have a sword thing, and I have a gun that also puts magical corruption stuff on the stuff it hits. Your character has very thick armor plating. You have plasma claws.
I'm so excited. It's like a dragon.
Damn.
And then you have a particle beam mega cannon.
What does that do?
It shoots things really, really hard.
So to make things explode, is it like flame or heat?
It's like a laser.
Laser.
It's like a Death Star racer.
Nice.
It's just like
yeah.
yeah.
And then plasma claws, which I assume melt things.
Yeah, they're just like regular claws that are like superheated.
Okay. Can I turn the heat off?
Sure.
Okay. Because sometimes I might want to reach things on the top shelf.
Okay. And then I didn't write it down, but I'm gonna go ahead and say that your thing also has maneuvering thrusters for space, so you can move around in space. You can just move around at a like regular speed. Those same thrusters do not allow you to fly when you're on a planet because of gravity. So they can kind of speed you up while you're running, or they can help you to do like long jumps or something. Okay. But they don't have enough thrust to negate the power of gravity altogether.
Also, it's a heavy machine. So
it's a very heavy machine.
Long jumps.
Okay, so I think we're good on what our frames can do. Now, anybody have any questions before we start? Before we get going? Other thing I forgot to mention. So it's the three of us plus Leco and Charli, who is another member of Anehir. She would also be on the team that you were working with, which are called the Wombats. So Charli, I'm gonna pop up her picture here. Charli is the group's mechanic. She is a Nova, just like a mill, which means she's made of kind of glowing goo.
She's really cool.
She's basically made of jello. She is Ruda's like best friend. Leco's ship is just a regular giant robot with big claws and big guns, and then Charli's ship is a mechanic ship that can do repairs on us and has good like sensors and stuff like that.
Really cool.
Okay, so now Morgan.
No.
Any
You
questions?
miscounted, by the way.
Hey, you're
Four
here.
of us.
Hi.
You weren't here when I started.
Yeah, but I was here like 3 minutes after.
No! You didn't announce yourself.
Yeah, just like breathe or like tell us
Oh
you're here.
no. Okay. Well.
I didn't notice it though.
Did you not see someone writing the words "boo" and "here" question mark
I
on the
just
screen?
Oh, I
assumed
thought that was
Morgan. Oh my god. Okay. Well, I'm really glad you're here because that'll make us a little more
Feel more prepared to storm this.
Yes.
Shit.
well, I'm glad you caught all of that and I don't have to repeat it. I do have a question for you. Give me a second. Ah, shit, wrong map. So we need to pick which Nephilim you want as your primary summon. We discussed that your character, because of the changes, is going to lean towards summoning rather than fighting with her huge frame. So first, we have you can summon a horde of ghosts of the faith, fallen saints, to fight for you, which I have sprites for them down here, but I assume they're not going to be very helpful in a space battle. So for a space battle, I assume you're going to want to summon a Nephilim, an angel, basically. So I didn't know which one you would want, so I got several candidates for you that kind of cover a broad spectrum. Which of these are you leaning towards as your like primary summon?
All of them are really cool.
They're all very cool.
I think the center quadruped.
Oh, with the creepy
Cool.
face.
All right.
I like this Mothman critter a lot. Too.
They're all very good. Okay. And then I will delete that, and then I'm gonna go here and just make a just update my record so I don't lose track of that one. Okay. Use selected token, and then go grab my 3, 4. Here we go. Save changes. Okay. All right. So, Reverend Byrne, you are also in this simulation. I am going to, well, so your frame can travel. You have both your person frame, your mantle of the martyr, I think is what you called it, and you can summon Nephilim. But to honestly, just to keep things from getting too complicated, I went ahead and said that anytime you do a summon, either summoning a Nephilim or summoning a horde of the faithful, your character goes into a trance while you're controlling / commanding them. So that means that if you want to keep your character moving with the rest of the pack, you need your Nephilim to like tow you around, or one of us to tow you around. Cool? All right. So, Morgan suggested we start by flying up to this southern gate, bashing through and trying to dock right away at the port docks. So, if we do that, we're going to have to go through these 3 guys here, plus however many reinforcements come out after us from inside. Everybody on board with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Morgan, since you came up with the plan, why don't you go ahead and take the lead? your character has swords and guns, correct?
Yeah, where's Jagara on this?
She's
Over here?
She's leftmost one. Right here.
Alright, so we can just like... I'm just trying to think through this. Once we dock in this thing right here, there might be people, but we would leave Jagara and walk around.
Actually, because Jagara can operate without a user, she would be the best person to, guard our exit ramp, whatever we call it.
Totally. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Let's do that.
So since you came up with the plan, I'm going to let you take the lead. I assume you're going to be using your gravitation manipulation to just kind of shoot yourself towards the gate and then use your sabers to start slashing at them? Or do you want to use your, numbing field to try to knock their ships out of commission, or what?
Yeah, so we have to get the ships out of the way first before we can get into the, over here.
Mm-hmm.
Going at it with the sabers.
Okay, so I'll move your Jagara down there. Okay, so click on Ruda, your little blue man. Go ahead and load abilities, and then take an action. This is just a straight up head-to-head roll. And then the skill that you're going to be using is whatever your character's primary fighting skill is. It's been a bit.
It's warfare.
I think it's warfare, but let me confirm that for you. I have it open here. It's street fighting, actually.
Oh, okay.
Because your character is less of a trained soldier and more of a frat bro at a party with a broken bottle.
We don't have advantage.
No,
none of us do.
Yeah.
Right.
Until somebody creates an advantage. All right. Did you click?
What did that do?
All right. I assume you clicked all the buttons and then the thing didn't happen.
Yeah.
Can you try it again? Last game, Zai got us started, and the first time he ran it, nothing happened, and then the second time it worked. So go ahead and just click all the same buttons again. Still nothing?
Nope.
All right, I'll try.
I can hit load again.
I'm gonna. So it probably isn't you. It's probably the script server, the API server. I'll go ahead and restart it.
Oh, looks like coding.
That's okay. I don't need to touch the coding. I just need to wake it back up.
Okay.
Now let me go ahead and I'm going to click through it, see what happens. Okay. Head-to-head, street fighting, ability is frame sabers, no advantage. Alright, it worked. Okay, it should be working now. That's a 12.
Wait.
Wow.
Did you have a question?
Yeah, I'm gonna try it again.
Okay, go ahead and try it again, but we'll use the roll that mine did.
It's a pretty good number.
That's a pretty fucking good number. Oh, okay. Oh shit, you got 12 again.
Nice.
Yes.
Alright, that's a super 12. 12 is fucking
Nice.
good. So 12 is one less than a critical success, but it is a great success, which means you hit the enemy hits you back, you choose a bonus and a complication. For a bonus, you can choose do a little bit more damage, that's advantage on your attack. +1 forward, that means create an advantage for one of your allies to use later. Enemy move tier -1, that means the enemy doesn't hit you as hard. String or answer a question, I would lean away from those right now. So more
I'll
damage,
create an opening.
advantage, or take less damage.
Yeah, I'll give like the team advantage.
Fuck yeah. Alright. Now you have to choose a complication. So, did the thing show? Okay, so yours doesn't have tag specific complication, disadvantage 1 on your attack. Okay, so do you want to deal a little bit less damage, or have the enemy deal a little bit more damage, or suffer morale?
The first.
Okay, you're gonna choose to do a little bit less damage.
Yeah.
Okay, well, your weapon does a fuck ton of damage, so I think you'll be fine. 3d6 K2. Adora, you might know this off the top of your head. The macro to roll 3 dice and then keep the lowest 2. Is that what I just posted there? Is that 3d6 KL2?
I think it's just D. It might be. I'd try it.
I believe in you.
Yes!
Yay!
It worked! Okay. Okay. So, this is actually okay. You would have dealt 6 damage, but the disadvantage took you down to 5 damage. Hardly any.
That's nothing.
And you do +4 on top of that because your thing is fucking really good at attacking. So which of these enemies do you want to? How am I gonna do this? So
I'm going for the cannon guy.
I'm not gonna give each of these enemies a I'm not gonna give each of these enemies an individual health box or anything. I'm gonna give their team a health box, and then every time we do damage to them, that will mean one of them dies. So you managed to do 9 points of damage in your first attack, and I'm gonna say each one of them has 10 health on average. So you did significant damage to them.
It's like slowly crawling.
Oh, yeah, and the thing you need to know about Jagara is she is built with Aelfin anatomy, same that your character has, which means she has 4 arms, and she has a scimitar in each arm.
Oh yeah.
So she's like fucking Shiva, god of death.
Yes.
Yup.
Beautiful, wonderful. You fucked him up, and now I do get to hurt you, and you chose. Okay, you chose less damage, which means I get to hit you for the normal amount. These enemies are going to be tier 2, I think. I'm rolling that. I think you take 7 points of damage to your Jagara.
What?
But I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and I don't want frame combat. I just want moves. Attack and harm. Here we go. Enemy move. On a standard move, do. Oh. Hold on. I think I messed up and I rolled way too high of damage for both of you. I think I rolled one more 6-sided dice than I was supposed to. So let me go ahead and do moves. Player moves. Here we go. Head to head. Oh, come on. Oh boy, I've created so many notes for myself. Wound, break, and trauma, demoralize, attacks, and harms. That's what I already have open. Enemy moves. Frames and frame combat, player moves, skills. The only other one I can check is... That does not say. Okay, so I presumably do have this written down somewhere, and I just lost track of it, but I think the way it is supposed to work is rather than doing 2d6 damage, I think we are supposed to do only d6 damage.
Oh, thank God.
Well...
I only have 12 hit points on the hull.
Yep. No, so this is... well, and remember, when you lose all of your hit points, you don't die. You take a wound.
Right.
But...
Right.
So, unfortunately, that's both good and bad. It's good in that you only received 3 points of damage, but you only dealt... actually, you would have dealt 5 points of damage. Okay, so you dealt 5 points of damage, and then you took 3 points of damage. So...
Okay.
This guy is not as fucked up as I thought he was, but okay. And then I did still have to check one more thing. Attack an enemy. And then I need to choose a bonus effect that he would have done against you. Oh, okay. So here's what happened. You charged into the enemy. You hit them real hard. They hit you less hard. And then they pushed you away. So I'm going to push you off to the side here.
Okay.
Because the bonus effect that they went with was maneuver an enemy. Okay. Did you do your damage for Jagara?
Yeah, 3 points.
Yep, and did you apply that to your armor first?
I did.
Cool.
In the space that says hull, right?
So it would have gone against your warding first, and then it'll go against your hull
Yes.
once your ward is all gone. Okay, cool. Adora, do you want to go next, or do you want me or Lacey to?
I could go, but I'd probably just try and heal the damage you just took.
So normally I would say that you can't heal like a frame, but Jagara is a bioorganic frame. So yeah. But the damage that he took would have been to his ward. So,
Is it like a shield?
yeah, it's a magic shield. I'm going to say
Yeah.
that you should probably hold off on that one, Adora.
Okay. I'll wait then. And
Okay.
let somebody else go first.
All right, then I will go first, so you can can kind of see what I'm doing. So I am just gonna maneuver myself to get a good, clean line of fire, and then try to take out one of these boys. Load abilities, take an action. I'm doing a. Oh wait, Morgan, you created an advantage, right?
I did for somebody else.
I'm gonna leave the advantage to you.
Yay. I
Okay.
have a cool plan that may not or may not work.
All right. There we go. And then I am using my my cannon. I am not using advantage. Okay, so I got a 9, and then oh, I forgot about element type matchup. We'll think about that in a second. Okay, so I did a 9. Okay, that is a pass, which is okay but not great. So I attack an enemy. And then I get an attack and I get a complication. So for the complication, I cannot take suffer morale anymore. My character has been so traumatized over the recent years. I'm gonna take probably a tag specific complication. My thing is slow and limited. So the complication I'm gonna choose is that my gun gets jammed. Limited meaning like limited ammo. Yeah. So like I run out of ammo on my clip after firing a couple times and then have to reload, which means I won't be able to use it for a bit. Okay, and then I suffer an enemy move. So nope, not 2d6, just a d6 plus 2. Fucker! That's okay. I'm fine.
You're fine.
I'm fine. My poor baby, Blightbringer. But Blightbringer, my poor innocent baby. And this would have been a physical attack, so that means... Oh, okay, yes. And then mine would have also been a physical attack. I haven't done my attack yet. Okay. Well, fuck. Okay, so I take 7 damage instead of 5 damage.
Wait.
Sorry, 7 damage instead of 8 damage.
Did Rosie take my bike?
I don't...
The blue one?
I did not see what she took.
Oh, God. I was supposed to give her this one. Okay, sorry.
Okay, so I just remembered a thing, which I left myself a note about and then forgot to use, which is that if your attack's damage type is the same as your enemy's defense type, then it's less effective. So that just means if somebody is wearing, like, armor and you shoot them with a gun, that will be less effective than if you had shot them with, like, a beam or hit them with a spell. Right. If somebody has, like, a magical ward around them, then a spell is going to be less effective than a bullet or a whatever. So now, I am attacking back at this guy, but my weapon has 2 types, so I'm going to go ahead and choose to use my magical type damage instead. So, no, I think that opens up too broad of a possibility. I think I have to just say my weapon is physical type, so my weapon will also have a disadvantage.
Also, are people in their mechs?
Yes. In this case, In this case, no, because it's a simulation.
Okay,
But historically, yes.
got it.
So, and then
It's important.
okay. So I took 7 damage and I did 5 damage, but 5 damage is enough to take out one of these boys. So, okay. So one of them dies. Morgan, which one did you attack first? We've got this guy here who has like 2 little razor claw things. We've got this guy here who's just kind of a little ball dude. That's the one you attacked?
Cannon guy.
Okay.
Yeah, cannon guy.
And dead.
Dun.
Woo!
Okay. So I am getting back into the flow of things and remembering how combat works. Okay. This guy has physical armor. This guy has elemental shielding. So, elemental attacks are going to be less effective against this guy, and physical attacks are going to be less effective against this guy. And then my character would have gotten hit with a special effect. I'll go ahead and just say dazed. So I'll skip my next turn. Okay. You.
Yes.
Okay, so your character does all elemental damage, so you're gonna want to focus on this guy. You got heat claws and you got lasers.
Elemental. Got it. I'm reading notes. Elemental. Okay, so.
Okay.
You can only do.
So you can get up close and slash him with your heat claws, or you can blast him with your big particle beam. Do you want me to give you more details about the pros and cons of each of those, or do you want to just pick one?
I think it's particle beam all the way today.
Fuck yeah. Okie dokie. Particle beam does a heck a lot of damage, so good chance that you'll be able to do some good damage here. Okay. Load, take an action. This is a... never mind. So, this is a head-to-head. We are doing... Your character also uses dueling, unless I am forgetting. And your weapon is your mega particle beam. Do you have advantage? Yes.
Oh, because it's elemental.
Well, no, you have advantage because Morgan set up advantage for you.
Oh, thanks, Morgan.
We'll do the damage stuff in a second. But yes,
Okay.
you also have a damage advantage. But
Oh, that's damage.
roll advantage is because Morgan set up an advantage for you. So, you got a 10.
That's like.
That's so good because if you did not have advantage, you would have had a 9, which is a mixed success. But a 10 is a great success.
Just passing, everyone.
I mean, it's the difference between like a B plus and an A minus. It's more than just passing. It's good, but okay. So you did great. You hit them, they hit you. You choose a bonus, you choose a complication. Okay, so do you want to hit them extra hard? Create another advantage. Pass it forward. Get hit less hard. And then we're gonna ignore the next 2 for now. So which do you want? Hit extra hard, get hit less hard, create an advantage for someone else.
Probably create an advantage.
Okay. So.
Especially since, are you going next? No, your turn's done, so it would be Adora.
Yep. Okay, so we're just gonna keep in mind that there's a floating advantage out there. Advantage. Okay. Let's see. Forward. Okay, so when he counterattacks against you, do you want Actually, I think somebody else should choose this. Adora, the counterattack against her, the complication that she gets. Do you think the complication is going to have to do with, Hi, Donna. Oh,
Hey, what's up?
my thing freaked out.
D&D.
Okay, Adora, do you think the complication has to do with her weapon, or is the complication attack disadvantage, or she takes more damage?
Takes more damage.
Fuck it.
Okay.
Love it. Okay, I had to refresh my page because it did a weird thing. Okay, so the damage that you do is going to be, you do not have damage disadvantage, so it's going to be a d6 plus 6.
Nice.
Yes, that is the highest possible amount of
Nice.
damage, because this is a fucking battleship melting mega particle cannon.
Right.
Okay.
Maybe I get a little
Okay.
a little toasty in my cabin.
Okay. D6 plus 6.
Particle cannon, danger.
So that means that instead of doing an amount of damage between 1 and 6, you're doing an amount of damage between 7 and 12. The lowest damage you can roll is higher than the highest damage on the dice.
Wow.
Nobody stand in my way of my particle beam. Oh, this is exciting. And dangerous. And Lacey, you
And
should
you
never have
chose
this.
to pass the advantage.
Yes.
Okay, the thing forward. Okay, so gonna go ahead and roll that. Okay, you did 9 damage, so did not quite take out the whole person, but came very, very close. And then the person counterattacks against you, and they do. Let's see. I have to remember what kind of armor your thing has.
My dragon has
It's
thick armor.
it's physical armor. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
thick physical.
So that means that this thing is going to have damage disadvantage against you. Plus 2. Okay. So your thing takes 4 points of damage. Okay. Adora, we have probably created enough of an opening now that if you wanted to try to force your way in, you could. Actually, Adora, do you want to go, or do you want me to have Charli and Leco go first and just kind of soften them up for you?
Whichever, doesn't matter.
Okay, so in the spirit of keeping things moving, I think that Leco will go in first, and I'm not going to roll for her because she's not a player character. But I will do a general straight up and down d6 just to see how good or bad it went. That's pretty bad.
Ooh, yeah, that's not great.
Okay, so Leco got injured and did not succeed. So let's just say, there we go. Took some damage. Okay. And then I think Charli is in the back, and maybe Well, I won't have Charli do anything for now. Okay, Adora. What do you want to do? So right now, nobody has taken hull damage yet. Morgan's character is low on shielding. My character is low on armor. And Anehir is in pretty good shape. And there's one enemy gone. There's one enemy who's almost out of commission, and then one who is still open, and we have a floating advantage. So I think at this point, if you wanted to just blast past them and go straight in, you could. Or if you wanted to try to sweep up house, you could do that too.
I'll just smash on past.
Okay. So why don't you do... I'm going to drag your character down a bit just so that I don't have to keep scrolling back and forth. Okay. So what kind of move is this going to be? This is a navigate move, I bet? Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like this is a navigate move, because what you're trying to do is push past them without getting stopped. What skill are you going to use? This is definitely going to be something physical, unless you're using...
The only other option would be like psi assault to get in their heads.
Also, your character... Have you summoned your spirit yet, or are you holding off on that?
No, holding off.
Okay. So you do still have your sword if you want to use that, but otherwise you're just on regular rockets. So you could do a parkour roll. I don't think you have any particular strength or weakness there. Yeah, otherwise you could do a psi assault to try to disrupt the...
Yeah, I think I'll do the psi assault. Which is...
It's not on the list, is it?
Not on the list. I think Guile is on there, but not there.
Okay.
If that makes sense. I don't know if he'll include it, but I'll try it.
Oh, yeah. I think I maybe just... Go ahead and try that, and let's see what happens. I might need to edit that macro.
I think it adds one more. Yeah, because I should have a total of +3.
Okay. So we'll
So
add
that's
one to
great.
that. Okay. What is what did you just roll?
I rolled a 10. Should be a 10.
Okay, never mind.
and
I need
9.
to make a change to the macro. I'm gonna give myself a new notepad here. Come on, notepad. Come on. Oh no. Come on, computer. I believe in you. Okay, so with a 10, let's get those navigation results. You had already rolled that. Sorry. Gain 2 forwards, or a short opening, and a thing happens, and then you choose a bonus. Okay, so do you want your bonus to be a forward or a string, or a piece of intel, or an asset? If you get an asset, that'll be only good for this situation. But if you get a string, that'll go forward.
I'll just do an asset. Sure.
Okay. Okay. So, you get inside, and you create a couple openings, and then... How do I not have a link in there? Oh, whatever. Battlefield event. Tier 2 battlefield event. Something advantageous happens for the opponents. Something happens that is dangerous or seriously inconvenient for the players. The enemy takes a big step towards claiming one of their secondary objectives. The enemies take a very advantageous position. What is something advantageous that can happen for the opponent? Oh, I know what can happen. So, here's what happens. You rocket past the enemies. The door auto opens for you, much like a what's it called?
Supermarket?
Much like a supermarket.
Or a library.
If you're thinking that this is terrible security, in the mission, our characters had codes set up that could open the doors for us. This is not just that they open the door for anybody who gets close. So you get in, and then the battlefield thing that happens is that more enemies appear. So, where...
Full stream ahead in a library door, and then I bonked my head and fell over.
Oh, no!
Oh, I was like 7. I bounced. But it really sucked. Because I wanted to, like, be really cool and, like, go through the doors as they were opening. And I was too fast.
Okay.
It was great.
Layer, token layer. Okay. So some more enemies stream out. Literally, like, Reverend Byrne opens the door, and the enemies just kind of go like, oh, well, after you. And so there are more enemies out here now. But Reverend Byrne has successfully gotten inside, and since you're there, do you want to go ahead and just, like, slam into one of the docks and start taking control?
Sure.
Okay, so we'll establish that Reverend Byrne has sort of claimed ground on one of the docks. For the rest of us,
Gotta finish these bad boys.
you don't have to finish them necessarily. You can take Reverend Byrne's strategy and just kind of push past them now that there's, there was an opening. Now I think there's a pretty, that opening is pretty well blocked.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ruda, do you want to go?
Yeah, I think Jagara. Well, so a question to you: if I do a protective ward field, would that be my turn?
So the protective ward is just like armor that you're wearing.
I
it's not
see.
really something you
I
can
gotcha.
like create a barrier with.
Okay.
But if you
Okay.
want to do something similar, you have numbing field, which basically does it like disrupts electronics and can kind of like stun the enemy. Or you could use your gravitic manipulation and just try to kind of like throw the enemies out of the way.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Like, holding them up in the air
Okay.
really high, or air. I guess it's all relative because we're in space. But...
Yes, in the open void of space.
Right.
Okay, so you're just going to target each of these things and kind of create like a gravity well somewhere away from the door to kind of yank them all out of the way.
Yep.
Okay, so go ahead and click on Ruda, and you're going to do this is recovery, navigate. This is a medal or a setup. This is a setup. Okay, so go ahead and roll setup. And the skill that you're using here, that's complicated. I'm tempted to say that it's a cult, because this is just like straight up you're using magic.
Right.
You're technically is Jagara using the magic, but you two are two halves of the same person right now. So I think it is soul occult, and thankfully I think your character's pretty good at that. Certainly I would say so.
Yep.
Okay. Frame graphitic manipulation. Let's see those results with an 11. That is a great success.
Zero weapon hard? What does that mean? It means that they didn't get hurt. They're just out of the way.
It means that this is not a weapon.
I got you.
Okay. I need to debug my macros at some point, because I think that the setup macro that we just rolled says the exact same things as the navigate macros. Okay, they're not exactly the same. Okay, never mind. Okay, so you create 2 forwards or short an opening. One of those forwards is moving all the enemies out of the way.
Okay.
And then
I mean, like, there's a lot of enemies right now, so, like, yeah, who are we talking about? Just those 3? So there's still these at the foot.
All the enemies that were in front of the door.
I got you.
They got
Nice.
bullied.
Yeah, so come face to face with this guy. Whatever this is. I assume it's an enemy, right?
No.
Like
Huh.
Is that Reverend Byrne?
That's
That's Reverend Byrne!
Oh no! Alright, no, I take it back.
I'm really excited for my character to talk to Reverend Byrne.
Okay,
And her new
so you created an opening. You moved all the enemies out of the way, and then you create 1 advantage for somebody else to use. I think the advantage is that not only are they out of the way, they're also very disoriented. So,
Are they able to move?
I mean, they can, so they can move as soon as you let go of them. They will still be able to, like, shoot and stuff while you're holding them. If you want to just continue holding them, I will go ahead and say you can use your second forward to have this be like an ongoing thing. Like you are holding them there and continuing to hold them there. Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you choose a bonus. So bonuses that can happen. You create more forwards. I don't think that's really relevant because you're already doubling up on one. Turn one of your forwards into an opening. Gain an asset, answer a question, or a less significant battlefield event. Okay, so So here's what's going to happen. The consequence of your roll, which would have been the consequence, like, regardless of how well you did, the consequence of your roll is going to be that something happens in the battle that shakes things up in a way that is not beneficial for us. So your options right now are, you can make the thing that shakes things up less problematic, or you could create an opening on these enemies so that whoever attacks them next can just really fuck them up. Right now, what you've created is not actually like a strategic advantage for us fighting them, but if you want that option, it would be a significant strategic advantage.
Yeah, like if we wanted the first option, it would be less bad.
So if you take the first option, that would mean that instead of a whole bunch more enemies arrive, it would mean like a fire gets started somewhere, like a thing that is not nearly as bad for us. If you choose the create an opening, like create a big advantage option, then that's like a combat strategy thing. That'll do a lot of damage to these enemies. Ultimately, indirectly. So which do you want?
Yeah, it's the long term versus the short term. Create an advantage in this battle situation.
Okay, cool. I will go ahead and say, in addition to all of that, because the opening is all the way open, if you want to go inside and get docked as well, you can do that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely make it to the docks.
Okay, so you are in the docks with your friend, the old lady.
Who Jagara and Ruda mistakenly identified.
I'm gonna move your guys a little bit out of the way here, just to.
I'm really glad she's an old lady.
Yep. Okay, so next.
We were saying Jagara's guarding the door, right? Like, so she's not coming with us.
None of you guys are able to bring your frames with you inside just because of space.
It's too small.
Except for Reverend Byrne, who is technically able to continue wearing her frame inside if she wants. What do you want to do, Reverend Byrne? Do you want to leave your big bulky battle armor at the door, or do you want to continue wearing it inside? If you do, it'll just make it, it'll be harder to do finesse stuff.
Well, yeah, but I still need my mobility scooter.
Oh, God.
Okay. Duly noted. Okay. Your flaming sword equipped mobility scooter. Before we do the next step, because I think we're at a good check-in point now that some of us are inside, I should mention that in addition to, we need to get to the command station in order to end our mission also has a timer. And the timer is our forces are just getting obliterated in the space battle.
Right.
Our forces are not going to win this space battle in just a us fighting them thing. What will win the space battle is if we succeed here. This is your kind of alliance fighting the Death Star kind of scene. We need to succeed here in order for the battle to win. And if we take too long succeeding here, then even though we take out the facility, we will still have lost our armada, and
Right.
it'll be too late for this to be like a strategic victory. And the way we interpretate that that timer is the time that we stop playing today is when the timer is up.
Okay.
We have until the rest of us, until we all decide to leave, is when the timer is up and we have either succeeded or failed at the mission. Okay, so so Morgan has gone and Byrne has gone. Okay, so there's Charli and Leco, and then Anehir and Eilish.
And then you get to go.
Mm-hmm. So in this game, we don't do a strict turn order. Person. Reverend Byrne. No. Morgan. You chose the combat advantage one, correct? Morgan? Okay, I think he did. So, battlefield event happens. He did not choose to mitigate the battlefield event. So, the battlefield event in this case is our timer for fleet collapse advances. No, we cannot hear you, Morgan.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now. That's
Oh, that
unusual.
was weird. All right. Did you all hear me before?
No.
We heard you when you last played.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Okay, so so we have a timer, which I have over here. I need to change my timers to have a solid background. The clear background thing is very cool, but it makes them hard to read. So we have a timer here for fleet collapse. This is when this timer hits 12, we have failed our mission, even if we have not run, whatever. So the consequence that has happened so far is we've gone from 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock on the timer. So like we're getting closer to fleet collapse. We got some time, but it is becoming a more pressing issue. Okay, so Anehir, do you want to try to finish off this crowd, or do you want to just get inside?
I want to
get
get
to work?
inside and get to work.
Okay. So I'm gonna say that I think you and Charli should get inside along with the others and go park and get to work on the mission. And then maybe let's say that I'll take one more shot at these guys to use that advantage that Morgan created, and then we'll leave Leco behind to sort of hold the gate while we, along with Jagara. Okay, so I'm flying inside, and as I'm flying, I'm gonna blast their asses with my. Actually, my Vulcan is frozen, so never mind. Never mind. I'm gonna use my sword, I guess.
Blast their asses with a sword.
Blast their asses with my big space sword. Frame. Corruption. Sword. Do I have advantage? Oh, actually, that's not what I'm doing. I'm not doing a head-to-head. I'm doing a spike, I think is what it's called. Yeah, spike. So in combat, there's 2 ways you can hurt enemies. One is you can just do head to head, and this is just like battle of attrition. You hurt them, they hurt you. You hurt them, they hurt you. You go back and forth. You guys accumulate damage, stuff like that. The other way is you can have one person do a setup, which doesn't do any damage, but this is your sort of volleyball terms. You've got your setup and your spike.
Yeah.
So Morgan did a setup. He created an opening. I'm going to use his opening to do a spike, which does a whole lot of damage all at once.
Cool.
All right, so dueling. Which ability am I using? I'm using my sword. Do I have advantage? No. I'm using a spike, which is another thing. Okay, so 11. That is a great. I break an enemy tag. When we deal with minor enemies like this, that means I just like wipe one or more of them out. Receive a critical move. Choose a complication and a bonus. The bonus is enemy move is not critical. I like that a lot. And the complications, advance a clock, a battlefield event happens, suffer morale, tag
Do
specific.
you think that there might be alarms
Um,
that go off in here?
oh,
Or is it
the
simulation?
alarms are absolutely already going off. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that I'm going to have my advantage be that the move is against me, the response move is not critical, and then the complication be that the response move hits a little bit harder. So, so the way that I do that is, okay. So because I succeeded at my spike, one of these enemies is just out of commission, no questions asked. And then the enemy hits me, and I take an enemy's critical move. So it's a tier 2 enemy, and it's a tier 3 attack. But it's the same kind of damage, so it's a disadvantage. D6, no. 2d6 KL1 plus 3. Okay, so my frame takes another 5 points of damage. I will do the algebra on that in just a second while everybody else does their stuff. And in the meantime, the modifier that he chooses is, ooh boy, he can choose fucking anything, can he? Okay. So there's this huge shootout between my frame and all of the frames that Morgan is holding in place. As I kind of like strafe past them into the doorway, I get several good hits on them. I take one of them all the way out of commission, but they get several hits on me as well. One of which includes they hit my thing in the primary camera, and my frame is blinded. So it is just as well that I'm gonna go ahead and park. Get the fuck out of here. Okay. And so we are now all inside. And Leco is going to help mop up, and then once the immediate threats are done, she'll come join us and leave Jagara, Morgan's mech, to hold the doorway. So now we're all inside. We are all dismounting except for Old Lady Byrne. We're all dismounting and heading inside. Correct? No concerns there.
Yep.
Okay. So, and that is all of us. We get inside. We are currently in storage, and if we go left, we can get to the power reactors and the command station, the aft command station, which we have reason to believe is heavily guarded because it's a command station. So if we go south, if we go towards the aft of the ship, we can take out those reactors and try to take out the aft command station, none of which are required to succeed the mission, but are all going to be strategically advantageous. But we have reason to believe they're going to be heavily guarded. If we want to avoid that fight, we could just go towards the center of the ship, hit the brig and the research station, and then the defense control station, and then get out of here and just avoid that hard fight altogether. Are you guys still on board for going down towards the reactors?
Yes, definitely want to get all that stuff down there first.
Yeah, I think that will help. Also, can we look up? Is there anything on the walls? You said we're in storage. Is there anything that's useful? Should I roll a perception, or is it literally just like?
I mean,
dishcloths?
So the thing that we're in is like the size of a small city. It's massive. Which
Yeah.
so the storage facility that we're inside of, it's actually called storage and hydroponics. It is it is a like it's like a 12-story tall warehouse that we're inside of currently.
Nice.
There is presumably a lot of stuff in here.
Right. Wrapped.
It's not necessarily a great use of our time to start opening up cardboard boxes while we're in the middle.
That's the best part.
Okay, so now that we're ready to get things going, so storage and hydroponics is a round room with crosswalks leading towards a central platform that can be used to cross the room. There is also, exits to the kind of northeast and southwest. We want to take the one that's to the southwest. But there are guards. Sorry. Why is one of these guys below the... Oh, no. I put them on the wrong layer, didn't I? Oh, rip me. Click, 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 click. Okay, I want them to be on the token layer, not the map layer. Okay, so, there are 3 guards in here. These are not the heavy resistance that we're expecting. These are just the first round of regular, patrol guards that we've run into. They're equipped with, guns and pole arms. And pole arms, which are also guns. So, we could... split up and have some of us fight them while others move on ahead. We could try to disorient them or just take them out of commission without doing a fight altogether, or we could just run past them. They'll presumably follow us, but that's also an option. What do you guys want to do?
Let's fight him.
Yeah. Like, fight until, they can be, stunned and incapacitated.
Reverend Byrne, I know you have some like mental stuff you can do. Do you want to try to do some psionics on them?
Sure.
What you got?
I can try and put him to sleep.
I think that if we can just bypass the fight altogether like that, that's probably the best way to go. Go ahead and try it. Let's see what happens.
Medicine roll?
Sure. I think Psi Assault probably makes more sense.
Sure. I mean, they're the same +3 either way.
Sure.
What type of roll, though?
This is a good question. So this is not going to be a head-to-head. Maybe a setup? Let's just call it a setup, and we'll figure it out once we get there.
Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna click medicine because Psi Assault's the broken one.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so a 10 is a great. Okay, so
Sounds like a short opening. They're asleep.
They're asleep.
yeah. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna say, because we're using a kind of off the books use of this roll. What I think happens is, rather than doing a battlefield event and everything, I'm just going to do this as if this was a combat where you hit them and they hit you. The hit you do on them is they're all asleep. The hit they do on you is, in order to do so, you had to
Get close
forward,
and touch them. Mm-hmm.
And you do get yeah, I think they all, like, get a stab on you while you try to do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm gonna choose your bonuses and complications for you here, because I think that there's only one way that makes sense narratively. The bonus is you've created a significant forward or opening or whatever on all of these guys. So that's your bonuses. And then the complication is they're going to hit you harder than usual. So
Sure.
rather than these being tier 2 enemies, they're going to be considered tier 3 enemies. And also, you have physical armor, correct? At least when you're in that thing. All right.
Yeah.
So they're gonna have disadvantage because of type match. So roll 2d6, keep lowest 1, plus 3. Okay, 6 points of damage to you. And then oh right, and then they are going to get to choose a like an
Me
additional
or to my
injury.
frame armor?
That's a good question. Let's apply the damage to your frame armor. Sure.
It's at 0 now.
Whatever. Let's go with that. Okay, and then Navigate, opening, navigate. Oh, where's the thing I'm looking for? I want this. Okay, so I'm gonna choose an added effect that they do on you, and because it's a tier 3, the added effect will be relatively significant. But while I work on that, everybody else can move on ahead, and then Reverend Byrne will join us in the back once I've decided what has happened. Ruda, since you were the one who suggested charging on ahead, I'm going to assume that you're in the front.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I think that Charli, who is not when we first met her, she was not a particularly buff person. Morgan, I actually want you to make this call. When last we saw Charli, at the end of the previous campaign, she had become relatively yoked, correct?
Relatively, like, muscular.
Yeah. By following your strict workout routine.
Yep. Charli was in the Gravitron, like, day in, day out.
That's true. She did the Vegeta workout challenge. Okay, so here's what I want you to decide. In the 10 years since then, has Charli kept up with her workout routine? Is she?
Yeah, Charli's toughened up.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah, Charli used to be squishy, and
okay.
Charli didn't take no shit no more.
So while the rest of us are charging on ahead, I think Charli stays behind for a bit to help Reverend Byrne, by which I mean she picks up one soldier in each arm and starts throwing them into the pit.
And Reverend Byrne goes, "Get him!"
Yes.
Get him!
Oh, goodness. So good.
Also, I am just now having the realization that there's no way this place has gravity. Because even if this did centrifugal gravity, that would only work on the outside of the colony, and because we are on the inside, yeah, there's no way this place has gravity. So we are all in 0G currently. That's a thing to keep in mind as we go forward. We're all in 0G.
Nice.
We're all floating?
Yes, we are all floating. Which means that in order for throwing them down the pit to be any kind of effective, I think she probably had to, like, tie them up first and then throw them down there. But we can assume that they are out of commission. So, rest of us are coming into the aft sort of command hallway. By the way, our characters look huge here, but that's actually because I've had to scale up our characters just to have this map make any kind of sense. This hallway that our characters are standing in now is actually about, like, 10 feet wide and long enough that it's going to take us like a minute or two to get to the end of it.
Right.
Like, it is a long, big hallway, and this room that we're about to enter is the size of, like, a movie theater. Nice. Even though it looks small and it's going to look really cramped as we do this fight, that's just because I'm fitting something the size of a city onto one map.
Can I go now?
Absolutely you can.
I don't have an idea.
Okay, give me a second. I gotta go to my GM layer. I have to select all these boys, and then I have to drop them on the token layer. Okay, so.
Because I want to talk about other things. So I don't know if I mentioned this recently or in the past, but Anehir has been really interested in, like, herbs and things like that. And I would love to create, knowing that there's going to be, like, people, maybe, but there also, like, might be, mechs. I would want to do, like a stun stink bomb grenade thing. Would that be acceptable? So that, like, they could be incapacitated before we get in there, granted that there is an opening. Now, it might take another turn, like, since it's just a hallway into a room. I don't know if there's a door, though.
Let's let's come back to that because that's very interesting, and I wanna play with that. First, I was supposed to be choosing the extra effect that the enemies applied on Reverend Byrne. The extra effect is going to be damage over time. So Reverend Byrne, they did a lot of stabs on you, and you are now bleeding. So you're going to continue taking 3 damage every time we check in on you until something happens to mitigate that. So I will give you an icon to represent that. Bleed. And then Reverend Byrne, do you remember how much damage you took? Did you apply that damage?
Yeah, it was 6. My hull is now gone, or the armor over the hole on the frame. I already applied it.
Oh, okay. Hey. So I just had a thought. Morgan and Lacey, you guys can ignore this because I'm going to talk mechanics for a second.
Okay.
Okay.
Adora, so I've been thinking about how to handle the bonus effects on enemy attacks because I think they're very cool and they make the combat much more interesting, but they make even like small attacks feel very significant because like you're doing a lot of things happen every time an enemy attacks you, and I would love it if like we could keep the idea of having bonus effects happen, but not have them happen every attack. And I just figured it out. We got to do it Divinity Original Sin style. If you have armor, they don't get a bonus effect on you. If your armor is gone by the end of the attack, at least, like after reducing damage and stuff, if the armor is gone, you get a bonus effect. So your character is bleeding. If you still had armor after their attack, your character would not be bleeding.
Got it.
This is great. Okay, so now you can come join us as soon as you're ready. Now let's look at Anehir's character sheet to figure out how we would be doing this. Okay, so I'm looking at your abilities here. You have this cool mechanical whip thing that you can use.
Oh yeah.
You also have like Iron Man style robot arms that have like flamethrowers and lasers and stuff built into them. You have energy barrier shield things that you can project around yourself. That's just a defense. That's not like an active thing you can do. And then you do have field medicine and augments.
Yes.
So that's how you do your field medicine, which, by the way, you will probably need to do on Reverend Byrne before long.
Yes.
Considering
And
she is an old lady and she
I know,
is
it's
hemorrhaging.
bleeding out. With,
Yeah.
like multiple stab wounds.
Yeah, but I do think that there's, yeah, absolutely. I think that logically you could probably use your field medicine and like mix together some take like a you take like a thing that you give people before surgery so that they don't feel all the surgery. What's that thing called?
Laughing gas.
Yeah, I was trying to look for the medical term for
Anesthesia?
Yeah, you just take like some anesthesia and you like aerosolize it and just chuck it.
Well, I also, this will be really fun because I want to use, like, I don't know how I'm going to make this, but I definitely want this to be part of her skill set because I love the idea of creating, like, herbal grenades that have slight, like, advantage points. I will talk to Brent after this because I'm writing down.
I think this is great. Okay, so
because we don't have a lot of people. I wanna have some distant, like, what is it, range weaponry? Is that the word?
Yeah. So you run up besides Ruda in the front as we are approaching this big auditorium kind of room.
Mm-hmm.
There are 1, 2, 3, 4 people in them. They all look very creepy and occult and sort of witchy, to pick a word. Which is not in matching the aesthetic of the other enemies we've seen so far. All the other enemies have been in fairly standard, like, military uniforms and equipment. These look like, honestly, they look kind of like a band of adventurers in the same way that our party does. So you get up there, and I think I think that probably before they even see you, just like you're running down the hall and you just chuck I am imagining this is this is probably not something that is a grenade or like a formalized piece of equipment. I think this is probably like a just hairspray can that you filled up with laughing gas.
No, even better, I put a rubber band around it, just like the axe that do you guys remember axe bombs?
Gross and delightful. Yes. Okay.
I just took a rubber band, I sprayed it, chucked it.
Okay, so we're gonna have you do a setup move.
I miss axe bombs.
This is going to... No, you don't.
I do. I miss high school fights. You know, adults, they always solve things passive aggressively.
And nobody just beats the shit out of each other in a cafeteria anymore.
I miss it. I know this sounds weird, but I really do. It was just really entertaining. I miss it.
Okay, so you rolled an 8, which is it's not a failure, but it's not great either. It's just a regular pass.
Right.
So
Can I get a little woozy?
Well, I'm gonna give you a choice between either you create 2 forwards. Those are advantages people can use. So either 2 times when a person can just take advantage of something, or you can create 1 setup, one opening that somebody can use to do a spike, which will, in this case, just take one of those guys out in 1 move.
Yeah.
You want to do that?
I want to do spike. Yeah.
Okay. So you're gonna do a setup, and all of these guys. I mean, technically, it's called an opening, but the problem with saying you create an opening is that opening also means like you have moved people out of the way, so that. Anyway, so you create an capital O opening, which I think is interpreted as all of these guys are stunned for a second, and 1 person can get in and do some serious damage, but by the time that person has done doing their damage, then everybody else will have kind of been past the effect.
Yeah.
So, Ruda, we have 1 chance to use this opening. Between the 2 of us, you can do a fuck of a lot more damage than I can. So, Ruda, I think you take the lead.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna hit it with my gigantic sword.
All right.
Head to head, right?
No. So in this case, it would be a spike. It's the same thing as a head to head, but you do like an instant kill. Okay, so you do a spike, and then your fighting style is street fight, and then you do not choose advantage for it.
Oh no!
Hold on. So I'm gonna go ahead and intervene here. So my character has, I'm just looking at my abilities, corruption, spirit calling, defensive ward, weird reconstruction. Okay, so I think what happens is you go in to try to take out one of these guys while they're distracted, and their enemy, or their partner, tries to, catch you from behind or something. And then while that's happening, I'm going to use my corruption ability, which essentially creates like supernatural, weird hellscape kind of things in the physical world. I'm going to use corruption to change the scene, to like put up some barricades or do something that will prevent the guy from being able to blindside you. So I am doing a meddle action, which is our word for anytime you try to improve or change somebody else's result. And this is going to be using corruption. Submit. Do I have advantage? No. All right, so that's good.
All right.
Okay, so on an 11, advance the roll to the next tier. Both of us suffer the consequences of your new tier. And then I choose a bonus, which is either a forward or a string. And Ruda, I don't know if our characters have strings on each other yet.
Honestly, I don't think they do yet.
So, so when somebody adds a string, it's only one way. My character has developed a bond with you, which affects my character. This is not is mechanically separate from your character developing a bond with me. But actually, it could go either way. Do you want to give Ruda a like grateful to Eilish or like a camaraderie relationship with Eilish?
Yeah.
I think that makes the most sense. Okay, so I'll do that. Now, while I do that, now we have upgraded you from a. We have upgraded you from a pass to a great. So, on a great, you break an enemy's tag. You do like 1 health bar of damage, which in this case means you take one of these enemies out altogether. And then we both receive a critical move, and you choose a complication and a bonus that will affect that. What happens? So,
Okay. Nice.
Okay. So, here's what you get to choose. For a bonus, you can either create an advantage, which one of the other party members can use. You can say the enemy move is not critical, or you can gain another string. So, which of those do you want to take? Do you want to take an advantage for a party member, reduce the damage, the impact, essentially, of the enemy move that they use against us, or make, further improve our relationship thing?
Let's reduce the damage.
Okay, so the move is not critical. And then tag specific complication, advance a clock, battlefield event happens, enemy move tier +1, suffer morale. Okay, so now we have to choose a complication. One option is that we advance a clock, which I kind of think that makes a lot of sense right now, just to kind of represent the fact that we're spending time working on this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's take that as the complication. So our fleet collapse clock is up to 9 o'clock. And I will put in place our new string in just a second. So you're getting the string that you just set up with me will go ahead and be you'll get 2 points on that string right away. And then okay. Now, Morgan, look at these 4 enemies here. I will let the character design speak for itself in terms of you deciding what each of these enemies do, essentially. So, which of these enemies do you want to take out?
Just to confirm, the ones right in front of me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The one with the flamethrower looking.
Okay.
Actually, big giant sword.
Wait.
Yeah, the sword.
Okay, you want to go for the sword guy.
Yeah, it's a giant sword battle.
Cool beans. By the way, remind me, your character is in level up territory. You can get a level up, I think.
Close to it.
So we'll do that before next game. Okay, so now here's what I will say. You mentioned this being a sword battle. Whoever you take out now, you are essentially taking out while they're unconscious. And narratively, I feel like you would want to save the giant sword battle to be more of an active back and forth rather than taking him out while he's sleeping.
Yeah, okay. Alright, I'm gonna save him.
So you take out Flamethrower guy instead?
Yeah, Flamethrower guy.
Okay. Pushing him out of this way. Okay. Now then, so, there is, the 3 of us, so each of us has done something, Byrne. So first of all, take another 3 points of damage. You can go ahead and call this hull damage. Doesn't. Right now, the 2 of you are effectively the same thing. So, so take another 3 points of damage, and then, are you going to come join us? Are you going to try to heal yourself, or you could ask me or Anehir for healing?
May as well try and heal myself.
Okay. Just remember, if this does badly, you might fall unconscious. Because of, there's a whole thing about how, when you touch yourself, God doesn't approve.
Oh my god.
So go ahead and take an action. This is going to be a recovery type action. This is going to be unambiguously medicine roll. And the ability you're using is character lay on hands.
Mm-hmm.
No advantage. Okay, so that's a mixed success. Let's see. So, refill targets health or resolve, and then suffer a complication. So, instead of refilling your health or resolve, right now it is just removing the undesirable effect, which is bleeding. So your health stays the same, but you are no longer bleeding. And also, you suffer a complication. Let's see what the complications here are. Something tag specific. I think that right away it has to be tag specific because your tag here has powerful like a defibrillator can knock out the patient.
The alternative is pay a price since I grabbed that asset earlier from
you did. You know what? I forgot about that. And since you do have an asset and it's only going to be good for this level, let's go ahead and do that. Okay. So, so you avoid knocking yourself out with that. So you are now back in commission. Are you coming down and joining the battle, or are you going to go split up and try to do something else?
Oh, I could go and do stupid things by myself. That works too.
Oh. This
Well-
is why we need to get a tracker. I told you. I told everybody.
Well, I'm actually kind of on board with, because we have so much stuff we need to do and we're so close to running out of time. I'm kind of on board with leaving Anehir and Ruda to take out all of the aft stuff, and me and Reverend Byrne go to work on the next objectives.
Okay, as long as she's a supervisor.
Yeah.
Okay.
I worry about Reverend Byrne.
Okay. I fill everyone in on what's happening, and then Reverend Byrne, you're good with this? Do you want to go work on the next objectives?
Sure. Point the way.
All right. So we it is 0G, so I think we just kind of kick off the wall and float our way on down. And we are in the mess hall. And now we before we go back to the other group and find out what happens there, I'm going to go ahead and introduce that there is there's a group of soldiers guarding the research station. They have not seen us yet, but they will if we go that direction. Okay. Ruda, you did the most recent attack on the aft front. So, Anehir, why don't you go next? Your options are abilities. Okay, so you've got this really cool mechanical whip thing that can retract, and you can do all kind of flourishy
Yes, fancy thing.
spiral moves and stuff with it. And then you also have these energy projectors built into your mechanical arms that can shoot flames and lasers and stuff like that. Your whip is much stronger in terms of dealing damage, but your energy projectors work at a range. So if you get in close with your whip, you'll be kind of in this thick melee with Ruda and everybody else, whereas if you stay back and just shoot energy beams, that might be safer for everyone, especially because your whip is covers
very
big areas,
Yeah,
and
I don't want to
in a tight melee, it might be hard to avoid hitting.
Right. Yeah, let's do the energy projectors.
Okay, so we're gonna do
I think that
our
would be best.
energy projectors. So Ruda, I'm scooching you just a little bit. Give her more of a clean line. Come on. This is just a straightforward head-to-head. You are using Duel, which is your preferred fighting style. Energy projectors. Do you have advantage? Ruda, you did create an advantage, so the answer is yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I created it in the first round. Did anybody use it?
I think you created an advantage in this most recent thing too.
Oh, I did? Okay.
Maybe I'm wrong, but whatever. I don't think it does any harm. Okay.
So nice.
So, that is an
Roll.
11. Come on. Okay, so that's a great. You hit them, they hit you. Choose a bonus, choose a complication. So, the bonus is you do a little more damage than usual. You create an advantage that Ruda can use. You take less damage. Or you create a string to strengthen your relationship with Ruda. In this case, I think that actually would be... Did you ask what's a string?
Yeah,
So-
tell me more about that.
So, You know, earlier when Ruda and I did a sort of tag team move, and then we said that Ruda and I are now like companions.
Yes.
Our relationship was strengthened.
Aww.
So that's what a string is. It actually derives from the word heartstrings.
Yeah.
And fun piece of trivia for anyone listening: the term strings comes from a role-playing game called Sword Lesbians?
Oh my god.
Advanced Sword Lesbians? Something
You
like
were
that?
telling me about this.
It's
I remember
an extremely fucking good
Bren
game.
went on and on about
The title is Thirsty Sword Lesbians.
Thirsty Sword Lesbians, thank you. And their
Nice.
sequel game is called Advanced Swords and Sapphics, I think.
Oh my goodness.
But yes, so that's where the concept came from. But I do think
I really think
it's very good. But
Ruda
also,
and
I think
can
that
tag team.
heartstrings is a really nice
Yeah.
thing.
I mean, I do think that we're kind of like the punk hip kids.
Well, and you're
haywire.
also the two
And we're the same species.
yeah, the
Whatever.
elfin. Yeah, you're also the two elfin people on the party. Now, so I think that the
I think we're gonna get along very well.
I think that the nature of the relationship that we're setting up is probably largely defined by the fact that you're both elfin.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, but we both, I feel like, have a definitely a chaotic streak.
Well, how about you're both rebels too?
Yeah,
so-
we're both rebel, and I think that we
Ruda.
recognize that and feed into it.
So I'm actually going to start you guys at tier 2, which is unusual, but your characters have been together for a really long
Right.
time. So,
Yeah.
well, whatever. So you
We're
there we go.
friends now.
Starting you up. There we go. Okay, now
Hey, friend.
give me 1 second. So last thing I need to do now is just damage. Complication. Tag specific complication. You chose your laser beams.
Mm-hmm.
So one option is that those weapons like overheat and you're not able to use them for a little bit. You could also do a little bit less damage, or the enemy does a little bit more damage, or you suffer morale. I would avoid that last one.
I think I'll use them, and I think you're right. I think they're gonna get overheated,
Okay,
and I think I can't use them.
so I
you know,
will.
for at least a turn.
Yep. So I will make a note that your thing is overheated, and now you do damage to them. Your weapon is your weapon does 2 harm, so this is going to be a. Oh, which of these people are you attacking? Now I will note that all 3 of them probably have warding, which means you'll probably do full damage no matter who you attack.
I want to go for the guy with the sword.
Okay, sword guy. And this does 2 harm. Woo! Woo!
What did I get?
Ooh, mommy!
It's not Alexa. It's not Alexa. What is that fucking sound?
It's Donna's phone. I'm
Right,
pretty sure.
Donna. Oh.
Okay.
I get so impatient with things like that.
Okay. So you did a lot of damage to this guy. I think you really just open up the beam cannons and just melt his face. So he's not dead, but he is very burned. Where's that? Austin Powers. I'm very badly hurt.
God.
I know what you're referencing.
I've never seen this.
My design was perfect. Look what you did to Mr. Bigglesworth!
Oh, the cat.
But Dr. Evil, We were unable to anticipate feline complications due to the reanimation process.
Silence! Let this be a reminder to you all that this organization will not tolerate failure.
Oh no.
Gentlemen, let's get down to business.
It
Oh,
goes
and it
on.
just goes on
We'll
for like
finish.
the entire
We'll do it
conversation.
later. But okay. So you've very badly burned the guy. But he also, so he probably wouldn't be the one who counterattacked you. But I think one of his friends does, probably with a spell. And now I have to remember if your character has an energy shield, so it'll do full damage. All right. D6 plus. These are tier 3 enemies, so D6 plus 3. All right, only 4 points of damage. Okie dokie. So, I will. So I'll do that. Morgan, it is your turn. What you doing?
I'm trying to get to the port reactor to do what we need to do in there.
You're just gonna abandon Anehir?
Thanks.
You would
We
think
just
maybe
like
you won?
we just like tag team this, and you're gonna leave.
We do have to kill the people, but we're running out of time. It's like 9. What is that clock? The fleet collapse.
Yeah, that's true.
We're running out of time.
You know what you could do, if you want to create a lot of chaos, is you could summon a demon
Yeah.
and then run off.
Oh shit! All right.
And you could run off
Okay.
with me instead of leaving me to face like 2 enemies.
Out of here. Let's go to the warp
So
and then release the demons and both go to the reactor.
okay.
Sounds like a plan.
So here's what you got to do.
Friends.
Go ahead and
We got the best friends forever ring.
I feel like we're Team Rocket. Just chaos.
so take an
Chaotic
action.
people.
This is going to be fuck, man. Okay, so I think this is setup, which is our general term for any time you're really just fucking shit up. This is definitely an occult roll, and the skill that you're using is Master of Demons, and you do not have advantage unless you wanted to. None of those would be worth it. Okay. Now, Okay, roll and see how it goes. If you don't like this roll, because this is very important, you do have the option to overclock, but let's see what happens first.
All right.
Dun 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 dun.
Pretty much a street fight.
No. This would be occult, which is under spirit, I think.
You good kitty. You're the best kitty.
Oh.
Look at that! Hey friends, 13 is the magical number that makes it from a great into a critical, and at a critical,
All right, so Ruda closes his eyes and then snaps his fingers, and then a giant.
okay,
fucking-
so
Oh my God.
My
because
mom-
it is a critical, I'm gonna say the thing that you summon is actually moderately loyal to you.
Oh, good.
At least 30% loyal to you.
Like
I'm
a
gonna go ahead and
cat.
Holy
say.
shit.
Yeah.
Like a
That's a
cat.
pretty loyal demon when it comes down to it.
Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, I think this is the guy. I think this is the guy you summon. Hold on, come on.
Oh, I like that one.
Yeah, come on, computer. Come on, computer. Don't die on me. You got this. Go on. Just drop the thing.
Uploading.
It's uploading. All right. So there we go. Do you guys want to
Yes.
split up and he takes one reactor, you take the other, and then both of
Yes.
you split? Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys are both dealing with the reactors, and now there is a fucking massive demon in the middle of this theater
Good.
that is just tearing things up. Okay, and now let's go back to the other team.
I should yell, I forgot how useful this skill was!
So,
As I run down the door to the other reactor.
Adora. Okay. So, we're in the mess hall. We need to get to the defense control station and finish the fight over there if we want to. Like, if we want this mission to be a success, we do need to do that. But other things we can do along the way, we could try to get to the research station and download their research, or we could try to get to the brig and rescue Lieutenant McCarris. So which of the three do you want to do? Go straight for the control station, go to the brig, or go to the research station?
Doesn't particularly matter to me.
Okay. Well, Eilish is a it is in Eilish's character that if given the choice to look at research, she will always take the look at research option. So
Right.
I think she wants to go there before we wrap things up. We need to get in there. There are some guards between us and them, which are, we'll have to find something to do with those guards. Do you want to just run past them and hope for the best? Do you want to try to summon something?
I could teleport them somewhere.
Ah, shit. That's not a bad idea.
They're in the way. I'll just move them.
Yeah, that's a good point. So the further away that you teleport them, the more difficult it'll be. But I will say, you could just teleport. If you're not worried about lethality, and remember, we're in a simulation, so none of these people are actually dying. And also, all of these people are going to die when the battle station gets destroyed. You could just teleport them literally like 5 feet away into the sort of open space between the outer shell and the inner shell, which is not aerosolized and pressurized. It's just the void of space.
Yeah, that sounds fine. They're not real. Who cares about them?
That's fair. All right. So, at the minimum, I think, if you do an okay roll, you'll teleport one of them out of the way. If you do a great roll, maybe you get all three. We'll see. So, go ahead and take an action. This is going to be a setup. And then you're going to be using, I guess divinity, although this seems hard to justify as divine action. No, your character has psi assault. So roll as if you were using medicine, but we're going to keep in mind that this is a psychic assault that you're doing.
And you said that was a setup move or what?
Yeah, setup. Okie dokie. That's a very good roll, but not quite a critical, but very good. Okay, so, I'm going to go ahead and just make this a straightforward, you get a choice. Either you get 2 of them out of the way, and we still have to deal with one of them, or you get all three of them out of the way, but we advance the clock. Reverend Byrne? We still got you? Is my Discord frozen? No! Internet!
Oh.
Internet! Come on. No! This is cool.
No.
Oh no, I just lost internet altogether. Do you have internet?
I have internet on my phone. Wait, it says an exclamation point. Maybe not. I have internet on my phone. Should I message them on Discord?
But the internet on your phone isn't Wi-Fi, right? It's just...
It should be. Well, let's see, it's connecting.
Okay, we do have...
And I don't. It says it's connecting.
Okay,
Rip. I've been texting Lindsay. Oh, maybe we don't here. Maybe we don't.
I'm gonna text, the person.
Oh dear. Still says there's an exclamation point. I don't know why.
Oh? 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 Oh my god.
Did we make it work?
Oh my god.
We can hear you.
Oh my god, I'm back. Oh god. Sorry. Our internet went out.
I was wondering. So if I choose to take all three of them, what happens? That's where you
okay,
cut out.
let's see, where was I? If you teleport two of them out of the way, you'll be fine. If you teleport all three of them out of the way, we'll advance the clock, which means that, things are worse on
Sure,
the meta
all
battle
three.
front. Okay. Okay, so I am advancing the clock. Now, we need somebody to go in and need somebody to go in and just like download all the data from the computers in the research station. Now that these Chumbawambas are out of the way. Do you want to stick together, or do you want to... Because I think your character has some, like, augments and stuff that would make it easy for her to do that. Do you want to go get the data, and I'll work on, distracting or figuring out what to do with the next round of enemies?
Sure.
Okay. So I will, okay, layer, token layer. There we go. So there are lots of people there. There are researchers who definitely try to block you from going and getting to the stuff. You're not going to have to roll for this, but what is your strategy for dealing with these researchers? Please, you can still hear me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Whew. What's your strategy for dealing with the researchers who are, like, in your way?
Let's see.
Yeah.
I'm gonna convince him I'm supposed to be here with my divine voice.
Okay, that's excellent. I love that. You don't have to roll for it. I think these guys are kind of just scrubs, and we've already dealt with the important stuff. Okay, so you get the data, and in the meantime, I'll get started on the next group. But before that, Anehir and Ruda. So both of you guys are in a big reactor room. I'll be honest, I don't know what a nuclear reactor looks like,
I also...
or a science reactor.
You best be sure Ruda doesn't either.
Well, it's probably near water, because that's all I know. I also know that on average, nuclear power plants cost 9 times as much, and they cost 3 times as much as the initial proposal, and often take 9 years longer than the initial proposal. That's all I know.
Huh. I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense because they're big industrial things.
Yeah.
All right, so if you guys just Google Star Wars reactor room, we've got a thing here. It's just kind of a big bubble with a bit of a cylinder under it,
I'm scared.
and there's some glowy stuff in that cylinder. So that's about what this thing that we're looking at looks like. So what do you do now that you're in this reactor room?
So, I want to know what the demon's doing.
Demon is in the
preoccupied.
the theater room, and he is just wrecking shop. And if you hear back there, you can hear some like fireballs shooting back and forth. You hear screams. There's blood and screeching and the sounds of stuff being torn up.
Man, I studied a lot, but this just isn't.
All right,
my
you want to look at your toolkit?
I want to look at my toolkit. I'm really scared that I'm gonna get blown up though.
That is a reasonable fear.
Reasonable fear.
All right.
I can't use my laser cannons.
Yeah.
Whatever.
You have your whip, and then you have your energy projectors, which are currently overheated. And then you have your field medicine. So I don't think you have any kind of weapon that you can just blow it up with.
No, I don't.
Next option, if you look around, you see a console with a whole lot of, it's like a computer console. It's the kind of thing when you think of us like a nuclear reactor.
The one with the red button that says "Don't push." The one with the.
I'm looking up a reactor control room.
Let's see. Because I have an idea. I think that's the best chance is just whack in this. Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm looking at a
Oh, yeah.
I just googled nuclear reactor control room. And I'm looking at a room with a bunch of computer monitors and just a whole lot of switches. Which just at a glance here, the vast majority of them do seem to be unlabeled. So, what do you do?
Well.
Do you just start flipping every switch?
I think I start, and none of them are labeled. None of these switches are labeled.
I don't know. Here, I'm pulling
There's
up
a-
a.
Is there a
pulling up
manual?
picture for.
Is there a manual?
Yes, there are manual.
Okay, come on.
Can I roll to look for a manual? Also,
Yeah.
did you
Find
know
the manual.
that our I believe at least one part of the nuclear, like the button that's used to kind of detonate the nuclear bomb within the United States arsenal, has large floppy disks as
That sounds
as
right.
part of it.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Because nobody can hack into them because they don't exist anymore. Like you can't, like you physically cannot.
That's interesting. That's not what I thought the answer to that.
No, yeah,
that
it's
reasoning would be.
Yeah.
Okay, so from
Well,
what
one of the
I'm seeing, it looks like they do have labels, although there's so many of them, and the labels are probably so specific.
Is there anything that says power down?
Oh, almost certainly not. I can't
Almost
imagine
certainly.
that in a.
No, not is there an emergency stop button? There has to be. There has to be like some little key.
All right, here's what I'll do.
give me the phone.
Okay, click this button, and then I click. Come on.
I may not know what this is, but my studies have shown what can go wrong if I do hit the wrong button.
All right.
And I can do a roll for that.
Yep, so we're going to go ahead and, right now I can't get to the roll button, so we're just going to do a raw roll. You have 1 wit, you don't have any skill in any of the other stuff, so,
Great.
so this is going to be a, let's see, it's not hacking, mechanics? I think this is a mechanics roll.
Okay, I'm looking for the easy switch.
Either mechanics or lore. It's the same thing either way. Slash roll 2d6 plus 1. And that is an 8.
Hey.
Mixed success.
Oh God.
So on a mixed success, here's the choice I'm going to give you.
Yes. What's the choice?
Either you can just give up on this reactor. You assume Ruda's going to be able to take care of the other reactor, and then, you just move on and work on the things that you can do something about.
Yeah.
Or you can continue working on this this board and try to, keep flipping switches, keep looking around, look for a manual, read the manual, like do all that stuff. But
That's
it's going to
time.
take a lot of time,
Right.
and I'm going to advance that clock.
Okay. Could I decide as I'm flipping switches that this is not working and take out my sword?
Your
Or
whip
no.
thing?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, absolutely, you can. Are you just going to start smashing all the controls?
Yes.
All right.
I don't. So that's.
So there are.
I like to think that Anehir tried. She flipped a few switches. She waited a few minutes, and it just wasn't happening fast enough.
Yeah, you gave it a a good honest try.
Good 2-minute try.
Yeah. So here's a question, and I will put this up to a combination of Morgan and Adora. What do you guys think happens when you just break the, like, essentially what's happening is, if you think of the reactors as like a big computer, What she's done is she has just kind of smashed the keyboard.
Yeah, like with my sword.
I don't
like,
think the
through
computer
it.
itself has been damaged. I think
like-
she's just breaking
Just
the
like
controls.
stabbed it.
Yeah.
Like,
So, what do you guys think is happening?
what is happening?
Because my intuition is nothing happens, and it continues being in the state that it was in
Oh,
before it was
no.
broken.
There's a reason why
Yeah.
there's controls there, though.
What do you, Adora? Do you have a
I would
thought?
say so. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you do that, and then you know what? Here's probably what happens. I don't think there is even I don't think you even have a clear way of knowing whether or not you were
It worked-
successful.
Yeah, because
Um,
I guarantee that if it shuts down, there should be like a system in place. If they made it properly, that would conceal kind of the reactor so it doesn't explode.
Yeah.
So it kind of goes into this like,
So here's what I'm gonna go ahead and say. Morgan, I feel like Ruda has a much better toolkit for smashing things
Yeah.
than Anehir does.
yeah.
Yeah, we're just gonna try the Gatling gun.
Yeah, okay. You've got a Gatling gun. I don't think we don't even need to do any kind of rolls or anything. So here's what I think happens. I think by the time you have finished smashing things, you see the lights overhead dim. And you don't know what that means, but it's probably a good sign. Now, in reality, the reason they've dimmed is because Ruda has finished taking out his reactor.
Right.
But
right. But I
you
don't
know
know
what?
that.
You know
I
what?
did
You
a
can
good
say
job.
good enough.
Good enough.
So the two of you can leave. I assume you guys leave.
With a false
There
sense
is
of confidence.
there is still a demon outside. He is now heavily injured. Everybody is dead except for the swordsman, who is very, very injured, but just holding on. And Ruda, I think that you get a begrudging sense of respect for this virtual simulation man, who I think at this point he's a little bit like the Black Knight from Monty Python,
Yeah,
where he's like he's
he-
missing an arm, he's got a
Arm,
chunk
two
taken out of his
legs.
side. He's still
Just
just
bunch of
shacking
scratch.
away at this demon.
Bunch of scratch.
So you guys just try to run past while the demon's distracted.
Well, remember how I said I have those herb charms?
Yes.
So one of my herb charms, which I'm gonna go over right now, is gonna be called a calm bomb, and it's gonna have lavender, chamomile, verbena, and a little bit of CBD.
Okay.
And I would love to use my calm bomb on the demon. If I don't even know if demons like can smell like.
Now here's what I'm gonna say. If you go past him, you'll definitely the demon's distracted right now. If you just
Right.
run past, you can get out and
Oh, so
continue on with the mission.
He's like
If you
non.
throw your thing at the demon, you're
Demon
gonna
will
get its
notice.
attention.
You know what? Don't worry about it. He's gnawing on that guy's leg.
Yeah. Okay.
I just didn't realize, if you.
Yep. Okay, so you guys have escaped. You guys are. I think you guys meet Charli in storage, who's just kind of holding down the fort, and Charli informs you that Leco ran past just a second ago, and that the rest of us are up ahead. So you guys all team up and come running up. Morgan?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Yeah, let me move.
for the sake of keeping things moving, I'm going to say there's been a little bit of a time skip while things have happened, and at this point, too far. That's what I want. Okay, so at this point, Leco has met up with me and Reverend Byrne, and Reverend Byrne. By the time you arrive, I think I have used my corruption ability, which can, among other things, terraform and create like eldritch goop that just kind of like terraforms an area into like demon space. I think I've just kind of warped the walls of this room to kind of absorb these three gentlemen. So we are running out of time. Do you want? There's probably no resistance if one of us wants to go rescue Lieutenant McCarris, but it will slow us down, and we are very short on time for getting to the defense control station. Which do you want to do, Reverend Byrne? Dora?
Probably just the defense control.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and say, well, you guys, if you're comfortable with it, you guys go do that. I'll go rescue McCarris, and I'll meet you in just a minute. So, the two of you step in there. So, this room is occupied either by people who are in heavy power armor, or who are robots. It's kind of hard to tell. But in just a minute, the other group is going to regroup with you and be around to help. But until then, how do you get things started, Reverend Byrne?
Well, after I've realized it, maybe I can just kill things since this is a, simulation. I go ahead and just stab them.
Okay. I'm really worried about the long-term moral implications of this. Okay, so Reverend Byrne, why don't you go ahead and do a just a regular like fighting roll with your flaming sword, and rather than going like turn by turn like we usually do, we'll kind of use that roll to see in a broad scope how the combat goes.
You want grit street fighting or something?
It's gonna have to be some kind of fighting, and I think you have a pretty equal score on all of them. So,
Pretty equally terrible, yep.
Yep. Street fighting's as good as anything. It's what you used to be good at. Good-ish. Decent. Moderate. It's what you used to be moderate at.
Oh, that's so mean.
I've still got it.
That's so mean.
I do really love it's the fact that it is a war machine with a flaming sword and an angel woman who's piloting it. I just love
and
the
it's
idea.
just a scooter,
I just love the idea of like, ooh, I can still wield my flaming sword to take out the heathens. I'm not too old for this nonsense yet. How is the roll working?
It seemed to.
Okay, I think I need to refresh my page.
Got a 7.
Okay, you got a 7? So, okay.
It's still a pass.
No.
Yes, it's my worst roll of the day, but it's still a pass.
It's a pass. So, on a pass, I think that, hey, did you know that none of the stuff I've been doing has done anything lately? Did you know that I've been like moving characters around and stuff, and it just didn't do anything?
I was gonna say you haven't taken a turn,
Oh,
but
what?
Okay, well, never mind. Okay, so GM layer. Send these guys to the token layer. So, with those results, I think that you and Leco both get injured a bit while you're in the process of while you're doing the fight. It's pretty evenly matched, but considering a lot of these fights are have been us kind of rolling over them, in this case, evenly matched is not great for you guys. So I'm gonna say that by the time the rest of the party arrives, you have taken out 2 of the enemies, and there is one enemy left. But at this point, Leco is unconscious with a concussion from being thrown against a wall very, very hard. And okay, so Leco is out of commission, and your character is fairly injured by the time that reinforcements arrive. So I think my character and Charli, Ruda, and Anehir all arrive at mostly the same time. And by that point, what kind of injuries has virtual Reverend Byrne suffered before we get there?
Her back.
Oh no.
Did her back give out? Or her arthritis is kicking up again? I'm so mean.
Her knee, probably. You know,
Okay.
have to be hobbling on that cane a little.
I love that it's not that she is
Jabs.
yeah, it's not that she has been attacked. It's literally just
her
that
knee.
that she is old and has thrown her body out on the fight. Okay. Well. Da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh boy. Okay.
Bless you.
So we arrive, and I think with a little bit of help, Reverend Byrne is able to take out the last of the guards. So we're gonna wrap up the game now. Okay, Reverend Byrne, do you wait for one of us to help you out and give you some healing, or do you just charge on ahead?
Oh no, I charge on.
Excellent. Okay. So I'm looking at this Simpsons gif
Oh
that
no.
she posted. And I have no idea what the context is, but it makes me very happy. Alright.
Yes.
I had a flaming sword.
No, I mean, I get that side of the context.
Oh, yes.
I just want to watch that Simpsons episode. It's been too long. Okay.
Have you gotten the one after that yet?
Okay. Yes, the one after that is also very good. So she's just strutting on ahead. Keeps on trucking. Okay. So come on, computer, you
Oh
can
my
keep
gosh.
up. Come on. There we go. And drop you to a token layer. Okay, so by the time that you open the door. I think that you have. Okay. Yeah, here's what we're gonna do. So, by the time you open the door, there is. You find three officers, three crewmen inside who are all like hiding behind their stations, I think, trying to stay out of the way. And there is one officer who has a pistol, who has just like a regular sidearm, and as soon as you open the door, starts shooting at you. How do you respond? Reverend Byrne gets the first answer, and then we'll get to say what we do.
I'm thinking.
I raise up the shield that I do have.
Yep. And then, do you charge at him?
Oh yeah, that'll work. I'll just run at him, smash him.
Okay. All right. So we're just gonna say he's unconscious. He's literally not like an armed soldier. He's just a guy. He's a commander who was making a last stand. And the rest of the crewmen at the station put their hands up and surrender, and they won't try to stop you, but I think they say like we won't try to stop you, and we'll even give you the key that the like you need to turn this key in order to like make these changes, if you'll promise to help us to get us out of here before whatever happens next.
I'll promise to not stop you.
Okay. And I think that with that they'll say, well, okay then. And I think one of them takes his key card, which again you need in order to like deactivate the thing, and he chucks it somewhere. I think he just like chucks it like behind one of the terminals in a hard to reach place, and then runs past you. Because if you're not going to guarantee his escape, he's not going to help you to do the next thing.
Wow.
Do you try
thanks.
to stop him? I mean,
no, you're right. But watch out.
he's gonna die.
Ugh.
It's not gonna...
No, I'll just try and teleport the card to me.
That's fair enough. Okay. So these guys run off and are going to try to get to the docks on time to not die. Anehir, when you get here, Leco is like unconscious from a being thrown into the wall. Do you want to focus on first aid on Leco while we?
Yeah.
Okay. So Ruda and I run on ahead, and we meet Reverend Byrne, who is presently disabling the control station. In the meantime, Charli and Anehir get Leco back on her feet, and I think that with that, I think that it is literally just like a, you swipe the thing, and then you open each of the terminals, and you just like flip the switch and turn off each of the terminals that controls the outer guns, and then we have to send a message to command to let them know that they're good to do the assault, and then we can all start our retreat. That covers all of it, I think. So I don't
Sweet.
think...
Nice.
Good. Okay. I don't think we need to we need to walk through, kind of the denouement here. So, what I'm gonna do is, I'm just gonna move us all to back to the real world. So, I've moved us back to the Versailles map. This is the capital city of the planet that we're occupying, where our characters are currently at. And sorry, I gotta clean up a little bit here. Made a little bit of a mess. And all right, so we are all back on the Gemini. You take off your VR helmet, and I think we congratulate each other on a job well done. So, I believe there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there were 8 optional objectives. Of those, we accomplished 4 of them.
That's pretty good.
And we did succeed in the mission. So, I think that's not gonna it's not gonna top the leaderboards. We're not gonna get any we're not gonna set any records for speed running it. We didn't take advantage of the if you do 3 backflips in the first dock, you can clip through the wall and end up immediately in the command station. Like, didn't do any of the elite pro tricks.
We could have done that.
No. But
right.
But it was a good bonding exercise, and it gave us all a chance to kind of get some practice on our feet. So in the upcoming level, we're gonna I think we're gonna have some more opportunities to do some frame-based combat, and certainly some more opportunities to do some regular combat as well. Everybody good? Everybody think that was a good, successful team building exercise?
That was great.
I think I work very well with Ruda as tag teaming chaotic.
Yeah. I do as well.
We were a good tag team.
It's a good team. I'm looking forward to seeing more of you guys together. Okay. So it is it's 5:08. We have been playing for a little more than 3 hours, which is a little longer than our usual. And I think we're all good now, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This was a great game.
Yay!
Thanks for running it, Brent.
Yeah, no,
this was really fun.
I had a lot of fun. I had some fun kind of brainstorming. This is an interesting challenge putting this together, because usually I am designing big levels that are going to be played over dozens of sessions.
Right.
But this is just like how much stuff can I fit in one sitting and still have it work?
This is great. I really like the practice training module. I think that this was great because I got to see kind of at least some people of our team fighting styles, and responses, reactions, and their arsenal, like what they can do.
Well, and I think that one of the most fun things about this system is that one, it's very easy to kind of expand or contract how much focus we're going to put on any particular thing, whether that is combat or something else. So, like, we can have these very kind of tight and granular combats like we had more in the beginning, but we can have the combats at the end where it's just like, okay, roll a dice, that's how well the combat goes. But also, there's a lot of room to do other stuff. You can, just knock out your opponents and then have somebody throw them overboard. You can summon a demon and just bypass the fight altogether.
Stab a reactive console.
Stab a console. Yeah. So So this was good. This was good.
Yay.
All right. I'm gonna skip doing the post game stuff, the usual post game stuff. And what I'm gonna do instead is I'm just gonna give everybody who played 1 experience point because this was literally training. We got experience.
I think I'm in the. Does that mean I'm leveled up?
Yeah, you were leveled up before, and now you are halfway to your next level up. You actually were a little bit overflowed into your next level already. So, Morgan, go to the.
Yeah, I'm here.
I assume frame damage and all that goes away from this.
Yep.
Since it's not real.
And in fact, everybody is going to be healed back to full next game anyway because we were all in town. Okay, Morgan, before you go, this will just take a second. I'm going to give you 2 choices, and you're going to choose which you want for your level up. So,
Okay.
2 choices. You can take your skills and you can train 2 new skills. Or you could either gain a new ability or train or upgrade an existing ability. So, if you're happy with your current tool set, if you don't think that your character's missing anything, I recommend going for the train some skills. If you want to be able to do something else that your character can't currently do, gain a new ability. But
I was thinking about leveling up my sword between that and go with skills.
upgrading your sword.
Yeah.
Here's what I will say. Your sword is already about as powerful as a weapon can be.
Wow.
And
Wow.
It wouldn't make sense.
so if we were going to upgrade it, I could give it some additional tags, like say that it is like an area of effect weapon, so you can use it to hit multiple enemies at once and stuff like that. But honestly, those things are hard to remember to use. I think you'll get more mileage out of taking some additional stats. So
Okay.
you've already got street fighting, and you've got parkour.
Oh my god, as a skill.
Yeah, it's just
Oh my
kind of the
God.
catch-all for like moving around, like getting between point A and point B quickly, ducking past enemies without
Ruda
getting
was
hit.
the guy to yell parkour, but then actually studied how to parkour.
Absolutely.
Way beyond. way too long.
So so you can choose 2 untrained skills and upgrade one of them.
I'm feeling occult, psychic assault.
So you don't have a good ability that would work with psychic assault. Like you don't have
Oh,
like a
I
a
can't
spell
like.
kind of
I'm not.
ability.
I'm not straight telepathic. You know.
No, you can summon demons, but that
Yeah.
you've already got the occult for summoning demons. So I'm looking at your skill set here. I think that it might be good for you to one. I think that charm would be a really good fit for your character. Just, I feel like Ruda is, in spite of everything, he is not. Let's see. He is not a nuanced and sophisticated communicator, but I do think that Ruda has some of that just like raw, goofy himbo charm.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I love
I think that adding a little bit of charm is not a bad fit. And then a little bit of stealth maybe wouldn't be a bad idea because just in fiction, because he is, you know, the head of a ninja academy.
Yeah, he should be stealthy.
I can't
And I
believe
also
he
like.
has a ninja
I don't know if I
academy.
can do this. I probably can't. I only have 2, but I want to do a cult too.
So your character already has training in occult.
Would it help to level it up when I have to do occult rolls?
So usually there's a cap of like you can only have +1 in a thing. I think that I might
Oh, I see.
say that like you know, I might add some exceptions like on certain level ups you have the chance to further improve skills, but the idea is because of the kind of exponential nature of all these numbers, we don't want like a +3 bonus or a +4 bonus is already like a like guaranteed success kind of thing. So
Yeah.
I would rather characters have more things that they can do decently than have one
Okay.
thing that like every time they roll it they do phenomenal.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think charm and stealth is a really nice combination. I think that's good. That's your level up.
Let's do it.
I'm gonna go ahead and
I marked it.
reset your experience. So you are now at 3 out of 5. And as soon as you hit number 6, that's when your next level up happens. Okay, and I'll. Adora, did you give yourself a +1 experience?
I did. Not 5 of 6.
Okay, I'm gonna give Anehir some experience, and I'm gonna give myself some experience, and then cool. Well, I'll I think that wraps it up.
Nice. Everybody have a great week.
Yeah, likewise.
You too. Stay cool.
So I think we're probably looking
yeah.
at 2 weeks from now for our next game. We'll see how it goes, but yeah. So I'll see you guys around.
Cool. All right.
Bye, friends.
Bye.
Cancel.